Let me get to here. Let me get to here. Okay, we're back. Shay. Okay. Hold on one second. Let me get you, Candace.
Okay.
All right, I just switched this around a little bit. Okay, we are
Okay.
back on. Thank you to the people for waiting through that brief technical mishap, Ashe. Shout out to the Reverend Dr. Irie Lynn Session, who produced this segment, if you will, and she was texting me as it just go out and come back in. Like as if I had a
Oh,
little
yes,
ghetto,
Dr.
like go out,
Irie.
come back
Yes.
in. You know, it's okay. It just go out and come back in. I got you, Irie. We are back. Go ahead and hit
Yes.
like and share. Let the people know who left that we are back. We just had a brief moment of technical. I was sliding. I need to start using these pens because my fingers are too big, and I was sliding to get to another screen. Girl, and I slid you right on off the. I slid us just right on off the thing. So I'm sorry. We're back, and look at the people. We back. We back. We
We back.
back. We back. I apologize for. And hold on. Let me. I want it like it was. 1 second. Boom. Hold on. I slid you right on off the. I slid us just right on off the thing.
I'm
So
trying
I'm
to find
sorry.
this so I can share it. Okay, here we are.
1 second, y'all.
Okay, we back.
Okay. I want to get us back to how we were. Okay. We
Okay.
got Candace. One
You
second.
gotta teach me how to do this.
Listen, this is
Because I
Irie
don't know how to
session.
do
There we
this.
go. Irie session for the all of you all. Dream big, coaching and consulting.
Yeah.
She
Oh,
got a whole
yes.
listen. She has a whole online course about it.
Oh,
And
yeah. I
she
need
is
to
such a good
register.
sister friend that she sent me a recording because I couldn't remember how to link everything up back so that I could be on YouTube live at the same time. And she helped me out greatly. So go on and get your friends. Let them know we're back. We're back. We're back. Yep, we back in the room. Okay. So because I interrupted you, I interrupted the flow. That's right, Nicole Simmons. Something always happens on the journey. Y'all
Hi,
better preach in
Nicole.
these. Y'all better preach in these comments. Something always happens
Yeah,
on the
something always
journey.
happens on the
Always on
journey.
happens on the journey. And Candace was sharing. I want to then ask you, since we were abruptly interrupted by me. I apologize again. Um, there's a sentence in you were talking about, just the utter dismay that you felt
Mhm.
when your mom died, and I was like, I'm not going to bring up this chapter because I really, I don't want to take you, into a place.
Mhm.
I want to respect that.
Oh no,
And
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, we
okay,
can go
Ashe.
there.
And then you said how you this is the sentence. I'm gonna just read the sentence that I just was like a moment of silence. I hated God.
Hmm.
That's the sentence.
Yeah.
That's the sentence on page
Yeah.
146. I hated God. I
Hmm.
hated God. And you said, I know we're not supposed to say that. And I also know some people will either stop reading here or continue reading and believe there's no way I can be redeemed from what I just said. And others will use it as justification that they knew I was reprobate all along. There's a throwback word. Reprobate.
You know I'm
Uh,
Baptist.
the reprobate mind, honey. Listen, and that's the honest part because I wonder, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. I wonder if, and I just, Monica Coleman, if you're still on, I just feel you like creeping up in my spirit too. I wonder if what we really hate when we experience such despair without the tools or the tools that we've been given don't really fit our situation, that what we hate is the constructed God.
Hmm.
that
Mhm.
what we hate is the God that others have constructed for us, and that
Mhm.
institutions have constructed, and that God is so tightly constructed that there
Yeah.
is no room for this God to process, for this God to do anything, right? And so
Yeah.
that our hate, like I do hate you at this moment. This
Mhm.
I hate
Mhm.
what has been constructed, and not having any place to put that. And so I imagine, and folk, please speak. Monica's there. And folk, please speak to this. If this has been your experience or what you felt when you read it, because the only reason why I did not like straight up give a full blown cry when I reread it is because I had to get ready to come on, and I didn't want to be as all puffy. I just was like, whoa. Um, and so I guess my question to you would be, who is God in Red Lip Theology?
Whew. Um. So first, yeah, like I hated a God who took my mama because he wanted to. Um I hated a God who had no care or concern with the fact that this literally was both of our greatest fear. One of something happening to one of us and the other could not be there. And that is what happened. My mother passed away unexpectedly in her home. And I could not make sense of this God who would allow that to happen to me and then also allow everything else to happen. It was like, how do you I don't even get a reprieve. Like you don't and I think the painful part for me was that I felt like I could not vocalize that and even in prayers and live. I really was like there were times like I wanted to pray and I was like if I really say I hate God, like I'm gonna be struck down dead. I will never forget that. I felt that way. And I went to see Reverend Anthony Bennett,
Mm-hmm.
who is
Mm-hmm.
a dear person to me.
Yeah, I love him too.
And I love him. And I will never forget, I drove to Bridgeport and I cried in his office. And I told him, I said, I can't even pray. I was like, I'm so mad I can't
Yeah.
even pray.
Yeah.
And he told me, he said, you've been praying. Every tear
Mm,
is a prayer.
mm.
He was like, you don't have to have words. He was like, I know that you don't have words right now. He was like, every tear is a prayer. And he told me, he said, your posture is a prayer. He said, when you got your hand on your hip, when you are leaned up against the wall, when you can't get out of bed, he said, your posture is a prayer. And I never forgot that because he said, don't keep looking for words. He was
That's
like, because
it.
you don't have to have words. He was like, everything that you are doing right now, every time that you try to make it, it's a prayer.
My God.
And I, I had to journey. I'll never forget when I went back to my mother's house. It was the first time after she passed. I want to say it was like February or March. And I took a bath in my room and I remember holding my hands up and I said, you got to hold my hand, God. I was like, if you don't hold my hand and walk with me, I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. I remember that just as clear as I'm talking to you. And I felt something just as clear as I'm speaking to you say, I got you. And
Mm.
that journey was one in which I was reintroduced to a guy who is deeply compassionate, who was not this retributive, you know, tit for tat, but was somebody who moved me just as much as I moved God. And this is, shout out to Monica Coleman, because process theology
That's it.
became even more real to me in those
That's
moments.
it.
And I want to I'm a park right here and just give her
Park.
flowers
I was thinking that like we
because
just need to park and
yeah, like
shout out to the
I'm a
Reverend EI Dr.
yeah.
Monica Coleman.
Like I want to give her flowers because, and I talk about it in the book, but like I remember when Dr. Carter told me I needed to read her, and I read Must I Be Womanist and was like, oh, it was like the window open. And I was like, this is it. Yes, this is it. And I remembered when I said that vocally to some of my professors and womanists that I knew, they were like, no, that is not it. And I'm like, no, that actually is for me. Like, this is what she's talking to me. But, and all
Mm,
of her work helped to articulate me on this journey.
yeah,
But it was not
got
until
you.
I came home from the
Yeah,
hospital
yeah,
and I was trying to come to terms
yeah,
with being alive after I did not want to be. And Monica walked me through that process.
yeah,
And she was already a friend and she became a sister to me. Um, and I think too often we don't publicly enough, we can support people's work and we can talk about how much they have shaped our work and shaped our lives, but when people help to save your life and when
mm,
people help to walk you through the valley of the shadow of death,
my God.
like you gotta stop and you gotta say thank
Yes,
you. And
that's
so
right.
I want to give
That's
her
right.
her flowers. I want to say, like, there is no Lip Theology without the work of
That's
Reverend
right.
Dr. Monica Coleman. There is no Candace
That's right.
without her holding my hand and walking me through that. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
That's right.
I wanted to take that moment.
That's right.
Um,
She's responding in the text. She has all kinds of heart emojis, and she says she loves you, Candace. And
I love
I
her
just want
too.
to echo. I want to echo your sentiments about Monica, who was always so gracious.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When I read also Must I Be Womanist, I remember putting it down and just saying, shit. I was
You
just
know
like,
what? I don't mean no
shit.
harm. I think all three of us need to do a live, a Zoom, a talk because I don't think the girls, as
Right.
the kids say, the girls need to get back into Must I Be Womanist because that
Listen,
right there will set the captives free. You hear
listen.
me?
I was
You
just
hear
like,
me?
whoa. And then, Monica also gives me language. The first time I heard, and she coined this term that I use in my own writing, a womanist ashe, for me,
Yes.
I was like, what now? Say what?
Mm-hmm.
I fell
Mm-hmm.
in love with bipolar faith.
Yes.
And when I talked to her about I said, Monica, this is what I want to write. I want to write like
Mm-hmm.
this, right? And
Yeah.
to which she shared, yeah, you got to write the academic stuff first. And I was like, I don't want to do that though. I want to go straight here. I want to go straight here. Like you had the
Yeah.
soundtrack to it and everything. So just shout out to you, Monica,
Yes.
Dr. Monica Coleman. Shout out to you for
Yep.
just being, and for,
Yeah.
I'm going to add, in addition to, because I do think this is a type of red lip theology, what I'm getting ready to say. Because Candace, what
Mm-hmm.
you've done is you have given us an addition to, right? This is
Mm-hmm.
something you have given us in our toolbox as a framework, right, to think about and
Right.
to work with, right? So as a type of womanist theology, excuse me, a red lip theology, that what Dr. Monica does is allows us to also honor our African heritage religious traditions, right?
Yes.
That we don't
Yes.
have to, be sneaking and hiding and, looking and lurking. But that's what the
Listen.
process God does always, right? Comes with us,
Listen.
and is
Comes with
interested,
us.
comes with us, okay? And that
Yeah.
is that is what you have done, Candace. You have come with us. And so we are almost at time. If
Oh,
there's
I thought
someone
we
who,
was
I
gonna
know,
still
right?
talk.
That little brief little makeup. So I'm getting ready to do two things. One, for those of you who have a question, that a burning question, I want to invite you to type it now. And if our Digi Deacon Natasha happens to see it, if you would text it to me so that I don't miss it if there's a question, so that Candace would ask. I'm also going to go ahead and set up our clearing space. For those of you, oh wow, listen, Candace Bimbo, you bring the people out, honey. We have so many visitors
Oh my
in the virtual
goodness.
spiritual gathering this morning. I wish we could have all the visitors stand. Come on and raise your hand if you're a visitor, and tell us where you're visiting from.
Oh
It's
my
146 people in this
goodness.
here.
Wow.
Before we left, it was
Wow.
150, and Derek Young literally just physically walked in the room, waving his hand, talking about, "I'm here."
Derek! Hey D! Hey D!
He said, "Hey, hey." Um, I'm going to set up our space. And for those of you who will be coming and are new to this space, it is called The Clearing. It is a Zoom room where we have much more intimate conversation. A talk back to the text. It is informal, yet it is absolutely sacred. And so, if that's not the
Mhm.
space you in, you shouldn't come. Meaning, it is a space for listening, a space for engaging. And I'm going to share the Zoom. Candace is welcome, but I only asked her to be here for this hour. She's certainly welcome,
Yeah.
because what I'm about to get in, what we get ready to get into that we didn't get into here. And maybe Spirit set it up like that because maybe some folks might want to share some things that they don't necessarily want to be on live, Candace,
Right.
and ain't nothing wrong with that. And so I want to get into this amazing grace for side chicks. Y'all don't hear me though. I want to get into the amazing grace for side chicks. And so I am going to search for the question, and Candace, if you want to just sort of say some, hold on, let me see if there is a question. Wait. Hold on, let me look up. Oh, Antonia has hand behind the back holding the visitor. Oh, she talking about she holding the visitor cards. Hold on.
Not the
Okay.
visitor card.
hmm Oh wow. Um, Reverend Dwalene Butler Candace said that in the same way Dr. Monica Coleman helped to save your life, Candace, you are now doing the same for other young women.
Oh,
That's you should receive. Take that all in. You should take that all in. Take that all in, Candace. Take that in, friend. Take it in. Take it in. Yep. Ashe. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Ashe. Hey. Yeah. I know you feel it too, Charlie. That's why you barking. Yes. Take it all in. Mm. Yep. What does it mean for you to hear that?
um, I am. It it affirms that the pain, the intention to heal from it, the confusion, the loneliness oftentimes was not wasted.
Mm.
um and I have long felt when you have a call that feels different and isolating, it's lonely, and there's a lot of fear. I a week before, days before Lip Theology came out, I texted one of my homegirls and was like, "Is it too late to tell them to stop?" And she was like, "Yes, it is." I had no idea what it would do in the world, and I am just deeply grateful that people have connected with it and are yeah. I don't have. Mm.
Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Um, and that also heals 8-year-old Candace
Mm.
and 16-year-old Candace and 20-year-old Candace. And if Candace ever was a side chick Candace, it heals all of to know that just as you are appreciative of how someone has shown up in your life, right? That uh, you are doing the same for others. That's reciprocity. Shout out to Dr. Daniel Omatosho Black and the Nation of Ndugu and Nzinga. Reciprocity meaning giving back what has been given to you. And I hope that you feel, I hope that you experience in all of this. I want you to experience an abundance of love, an abundance of support. You've experienced so much in the last 5 years or so, so much that knocked you off your mark, so much that took you a different route, so much folks counted you out, counted you down, counted you out, scratched your name off a certain list, institutions turned away, so many things that you literally had to walk away from, so many things. You have become the phoenix, Ashe. Yeah, God, glory, glory, glory. You have become the phoenix. You were taken down to the level of ashes, and out of those ashes, you have remade with the presence and help of your dear mother, who is now your ancestor. You have remade yourself and refashioned yourself and birthed yourself anew to come into a space and or position. And I want you to feel the fullness. Hallelujah, the fullness of everything that you should. If if the text, if the Joel text was a person, the text that says, "I'm gonna give back everything that the cankerworm stole," it would be you, Ashe. If it was a person, if it was like the yellow pages, and if there was a picture that could be put by it, it would be you, friend. It would be you. And I want you to take that. And I don't want you to apologize for celebrating this, because the real truth of the matter, and I can say it as a part of the guild, the real truth of the matter is many desire to do what you do. They want their work to reach the masses. They want to be in trade publications. They want to be cited and quoted in writing. They want this. This is, and this is also your ministry. And another thing we ain't never ever gonna do is we ain't never ever gonna say that she ain't no preacher. We ain't never gonna say that. Stay tuned though. We gonna make it so. Pink World Chronicles is gonna make it so. We're not getting ready to do that, Ashe. And so I just want to say, on behalf of this community, on behalf of Pink World Chronicles, for those of you who are waiting in the Zoom room for me to end this live, I put the Zoom link up here, and I'm gonna do it again just because inevitably there's always somebody who say, "Well, I didn't see it. I didn't see it." Here it is again. I want to say, on behalf of this spiritual gathering, this intergenerational place that centers Afrocentric, Afrofuturist, and womanist points of view, that is exclusive to us, but inclusive for all others who desire and understand the depth, and the problem of interlocking oppression and interlocking oppressive systems, but who desire to learn and to unlearn problematic theologies. That we call you family. We will always shout you out, just like in the old school brick and mortar traditional church. You be like, "Oh, they go to my church. That's my family member." That's what we doing over here at PRC. Folks is out
Thank
here
y'all.
shouting. We thank you for taking your time on this Sunday morning to be with us. So many people on here. Dr. Shaniqua Walker Barnes is on here. She's been just hyping you up,
Another one.
saying
Another
another
one.
one, right? And like DJ Khaled, another one,
Another one. Like,
another one.
whew.
Yeah.
I love y'all, and I am grateful and thankful. Make sure you send me. I'm a join the Zoom from my phone.
Okay.
Cause I
Let me
mean
send you. I can
at
send
10
you the
o'clock I
links.
gotta, yeah, because at 10
I know
o'clock
you
I
got
got
to
a
roll
nail
out.
appointment. So, but I will definitely join a link from my phone, join the Zoom from my phone. But I am so grateful for you, for our sisterhood. I'm so grateful for PRC. That was a haven for, and is a haven for me and so many other people. Um, for folks that's on this live that know me, call me, pray for me. For the ones that don't know me and pray for me. Thank you for rocking with this. Thank you for rocking with Relic Theology, and for me with me. I am incredibly just humbled and grateful. I am rarely speechless, and yet here we are with me having no words. But thank you so much.
You are so welcome. Okay, so folks are saying you don't see the link because I typed the link in Restream. That's probably why you don't see it. So give me a second, and as
Okay.
you do, she has not asked, but this was totally because she is a friend and a sister friend. But I also believe in giving folks something, and this has been absolutely labor, good labor, but labor nonetheless. And so I want to invite you. I don't have her handles, but I want to invite you to give a little something at the Pink Rope Chronicles PayPal, that I might offer her a little something. Certainly not as much as she's worth or valued, but want to do so. And I know that some of you might want to give in that way. So at Pink Rope Chronicles, on PayPal, you can also use Venmo. Shay.